Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Bookstagram made me do it video. So I'll be talking about 5 fantasy books that Bookstagram made me buy because I see them everywhere. So yeah, their Bookstagram made me do it, even though I don't read fantasy hardly ever, but I continually say that I want to read more fantasy. So here we are, and I'll be showing y'all 5 books that I bought because I saw them everywhere on Bookstagram. The first book that I swear I see at least once a day is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is a trilogy, I think. I only bought the first book because I didn't want to commit to a whole series if I didn't like the first one. But this book is about Jude, who lost her parents when she was younger, and her sisters were like kidnapped. And so now she wants to like win a place at court so that she can be with her sisters. Oh, so she can belong like in the high court where her sisters are, I think. But like there's a king whose name is Carden, and he's awful apparently. And I think this is like a fantasy romance. And I assume that like Jude and Carden end up together. I don't know, I feel like I always see those 2 names everywhere. So I bought this book. I've heard a lot of really good things, and I've heard that Holly Black is a really great storyteller. So we'll see if I enjoy this one, and we'll see if it lives up to the hype, because I'm pretty sure I consistently see it on Bookstagram, and like the hype never fades on this book, I don't think. So this is the first book that Bookstagram made me buy. The second book that I bought because of Bookstagram is actually a book that recently got released, and I am personally very excited to read it, only because I've heard it's like a mix between the Hunger Games and like with Greek mythology in it, and that is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. The cover is stunning. I bought the UK paperback edition just because I feel like I like paperback better. Sometimes, I don't know. I go back and forth between whether or not I like a hardback or paperback better. But I ended up getting the paperback copy of this book, and it is stunning. This is a fantasy book that actually takes place in the United States. So it takes place in New York, and every 7 years there is like this deadly game that happens when Zeus punishes the gods, and then he like makes them mortal. So I guess our main character, whose name is Lore, obviously, she has to participate in the games. Maybe, yeah, I don't know, I could be really wrong about that, but this book sounds really good. I've only heard good things about this book as well, and when I saw that it finally came out, I actually ended up buying it like right away. I didn't see a ton of posts about it before I decided to go ahead and buy this one, just because I thought it was something that I would already be interested in, just because of the whole Hunger Games vibes that people have like gotten from this book. I guess my biggest fear about reading it though is just that there is Greek mythology in it, and I don't really know Greek mythology, so we'll see if I understand it or if I'm just confused the whole time. Book number 3 is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I have read one V.E. Schwab book, and that was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I thought it was okay. I personally did not believe that it lived up to the hype. I was bored for most of the book, and was only really invested for Henry and Luke. Like, they were the reasons I finished the book, I think. But it was a buddy read that I did with one of my friends on Bookstagram, and it was really fun to read it with her. So I added this to my wish list on Amazon, and someone purchased it for me, but I only added it to my wish list because I just saw it everywhere on Bookstagram. I've heard it's a dark fantasy, and I love everything that's dark. So like, even though it is a fantasy, I was like, this sounds kind of interesting because I just like dark stuff in books. So this book is about 2 college roommates, Victor and Eli, and they like do this research and find out that like people can like get these abilities that are like supernatural, but they seem to like try it and everything goes very, very wrong. I don't know if that's right or not, but I don't know, the cover's cool and it sounds good, so as long as it's like dark and like fun, I guess, I will hopefully enjoy it. Another book that is absolutely a Bookstagram made me do it is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I read Six of Crows last year, and once again I thought it was okay. I rated it 3 stars because Kaz Brecker is one of my new book boyfriends and we love him very much. But Ninth House is a dark academia fantasy book, which is why I bought it, because of the dark academia. I have read a few dark academia books in the past year or so, and I have some more sitting on my book cart. I have Catherine House and A Deadly Education, and then I've also read Bunny by Mona Awad, which is a dark academia book. That book really confused me, but it was dark and like I had a good time reading it, even though I only rated it 2 stars. Oops. But this book is about Alex, who is a college student at Yale, and it is a tale of power, privilege, dark magic, and murder among the Ivy League elite. So this one's kind of thick, and the print is very small. This will hopefully be another fun fantasy book if I actually read it this year. But I think there's a sequel coming out. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like I heard that there is. So I feel like I will have FOMO when that book comes out if I haven't already read this one. So the last book that Bookstagram kind of made me buy, I think, in the fantasy sci-fi genre, but also my friend Elle made me buy, even though she hasn't even read the books, love you Elle, is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is a sci-fi book. It's less fantasy, more sci-fi, I believe. This book takes place in a world where there's like no sickness, no war, no disease, no hunger, and like the people there have like conquered death. So like I guess there is no death maybe in that world unless you kill somebody, maybe. But scythes, which is the name of the book, I assume this is a scythe, they are the only people who can end lives. And so I guess this is about 2 characters, Citra and Rowan, who are chosen to like become scythes. Like they apprentice as a scythe so like they can become an official scythe, but I don't think that either of them want to do it, and so I assume that that causes problems. I've heard really good things about this series, this trilogy. I have the whole trilogy. I haven't read any of them. I feel as though this would be a book that I did enjoy once I picked it up and started reading it, but alas, I have not done that yet. So we'll see if I get to it this year or push it off once again, because I've had this for probably 10 months now. Oops. So those are the 5 books in the fantasy genre that Bookstagram sort of made me buy. Obviously, Bookstagram did not actually make me buy these books, but because I continually saw them all over my feed, I decided that I needed to buy them because, you know, FOMO. It's a real thing. So will I actually read these books? That is the goal, but we'll see when I actually get to them. If you have read any of these books and want to let me know where I should start, feel free to comment down below. If you have a favorite out of these 5 that I showed you, feel free to let me know that as well. And I'll probably read these books based on what other people think about them. So feel free to comment down below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more content. I try to post every single Friday, and then sometimes I will post on Monday or Tuesday, depending on if I have extra time to film another video to upload. So yes, thank you so much for watching.